Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do. Healthy body.
A lot of information. Paimon's getting a headache. So, to sum up, Sachin put the academia in charge of managing his estate and went off to do research, right? He even said that if he really liked one of the contestants, he wouldn't just give them a reward, but his entire estate as well. Oh, that must be worth heaps and heaps of mora.
What? Are you serious? All of Sachin's wealth, that's more than I could spend in a lifetime, surely. Heck, if I got chosen, I'd be able to pay off all my debts, then buy a new place, and still have cash to burn. I could build another Palace of Alcazar's array, except this time, I'd make it 10 times bigger. Oh, then there's that new project in Port Ormos, of course. The bridge renovation. To do it properly would take upwards of...
Hey, snap out of it! You're getting way ahead of yourself there, mister.
You're right. First, I need to focus on winning and moving out of this place.
Huh? Wait a moment. There's a loose slip of paper tucked in between these pages. Did Alhaitham write this? It looks like he was jotting ideas down as he was thinking things over. Let's see. Two phrases have been circled. Sachin, dead or alive, unknown. And diadem of knowledge. Some of this stuff is just plain incomprehensible. Is this written in some other language?
Let me see. Huh. I recognize this script. Give me a second. Lofty ideals may provide no defense at all against nihilism, but perhaps little decisions can. That's a rough translation anyway. I can't guarantee it's 100% accurate. There's another smaller line of text underneath. Why would he bring that up?
Wow! It's so cool that you can actually read this script!
We worked together on a project once when we were students. The title was Decoding the Runes and Architectural Philosophy of the Ruins of King Deshret's Civilization. I had to familiarize myself a little with this script at the time.
Oh, interesting! So, any idea what Alhaitham meant by all this?
Who knows? The way his mind works is one of the great mysteries of the world.
Fair enough. Well, guess we've learned all we can here. Yeah, he better catch those crooks. But until then, let's just head out for a stroll.
little decisions. What could have been going through his mind when he wrote that?
Paimon just heard...
Of the world.
Let's go to the Academia and check with Arav!
Ah, you're here. Sorry, I was just about to send someone to inform you. I only just finished interrogating the suspects.
What did you find out?
Well, lots of unexpected details, let's put it that way. The mercs themselves were surprisingly easy to catch. We just had someone dress up as Sachin and they took the bait. But then it starts to get messy. During the interrogation, we learned that they were hired by Sachin's own child.
What? Why would someone want to kidnap their own father? What's up with that?
It's anybody's guess at this point. In any event, apparently the guys we caught are just the tip of the iceberg. Most of them are still snooping around outside the city. We're diverting manpower as we speak to try and round them all up. Would you like to come along?
Sure, let's go get to the bottom of all this.
We're way behind schedule.
Boss, we got more company.
Look, we were just doing what we were paid to do. You're punishing the wrong people here. You want the real culprit? It's this guy. He hired us to kidnap Sachin.
What happened? Who beat you all up?
Wait, you mean you aren't with them?
With who? Who did this?
First there was this flying brat. Didn't bother asking any questions, just started throwing punches. After that, some guy wearing green came along and interrogated us for a bit.
I've got the confirmation I needed. This is the one who masterminded this whole plot. Jawani, Sachin's son. If you have any questions for him, now's your chance to ask them. When you're done, I'm arresting them all and taking them back to the Academia for further interrogation.
So why did you hire people to kidnap Sachin?
What do you think? 20 years ago, he upped and left to go and live a carefree life, not giving a second thought for my welfare. As if that's not bad enough already, he went and put his entire fortune in the care of the Academia, along with a contract saying that one day he'd pass it all on to a genius he admired. That's my inheritance. By rights. You expect me to sit back and watch it go to someone else? If he won't give me what's mine, I'll just have to take it from him. Of course! Didn't he say he would be here somewhere, watching the championship from the shadows? So, I figured I'd get some people to nab him. Then I make him change the contract. And if the Academia doesn't agree to hand over the goods, I make him publicly announce that I'm his chosen genius. No, the old fart knows how to stay hidden. I'll give him that. He's probably cooped up somewhere watching all this go on and laughing to himself. I already thought he'd gone mad 20 years ago. And who knows what a madman's truly capable of. Diadem of Knowledge? You mean that thing he donated to the academia? Well, I can tell you that it's very expensive. He sold a lot of assets to purchase it back in the day. Weird things started happening after he brought it home, too. For example, sometimes we'd hear a high-pitched voice coming from the storage room. Also, before donating it to the academia, he once shut himself in that same storeroom and researched it non-stop for days. Something was already seriously wrong with him by that point. Nothing he did shocked me.
What do you mean, something wrong with him?
I only have a vague memory of it, since I was very young at the time. But I have the impression that he went out into the desert for research and didn't return for many years. When he finally did return, he was a changed person. He would mumble incomprehensibly and write essays day and night. I asked if I could see what he'd written, but he chased me out of the room. Later, he went out somewhere and took his written essays with him. When he got back, he signed his contract with the academia. Part of me wonders whether he'd already stopped being my father by that point. Perhaps the man we called Sachin was a demon from the desert who was wearing his skin.
Okay, you can stop now. You're creeping Paimon on out.
You can believe me or not. Doesn't matter to me. I told you all I know. But if you do see Sachin, tell him this for me. Whatever it is that he's researching out there, he'll always be garbage in my eye.
You finished? In that case, come with us. Well, we finally caught the guy behind all this. Thanks for providing us with the critical information. Do you still have any lingering concerns?
Yeah, Al-Haytham's notes do mention that item.
Scribe Al-Haytham looked into this matter. Understood. Well, if you believe there to be an issue with the diadem, I'd suggest contacting the organizers and getting them to pause the competitions while we investigate.
That makes sense. Okay then, let's get back to the venue. We need to tell Karina what's going on.
Born of ice and frost. Blaze over. No touching.
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom. My guiding stars. Don't be scared.
We're Wakeborn of ice and frost.
You're finally back. Where have you been? I looked everywhere for you. The third round's already started.
We were out capturing some bad guys who wanted to kidnap Sachin. But that's not important right now. We think there might be something wrong with the Diadem of Knowledge, and we'd like to investigate it.
The diadem? That seems unlikely. The Diadem of Knowledge has been used in every extravaganza over the last 2 decades, always without incident. Why has this come up now? This is pretty serious. Let me think. Okay, here's the situation. The Diadem is currently in Mount Ima Forest. We moved it there before the 3rd round began. In the 3rd round, contestants have to go into Mount Ima Forest, find the Diadem, bring it back, and place it on the stand. The first person to do this gets 4 points. Considering how close the scores are between our contestants, whoever wins this round is very likely to be the winner of the whole competition. As such, I suspect competition to be very fierce. You might not— I'll mark the Diadem's location for you. Please head there immediately. Let's hope nothing happens.
All right, let's go. That's weird. Uh-oh. This place looks empty. Did someone already take it? Well, we might as well head back and see if anyone's turned it in.
Oh, looks like Layla has seized the diadem. But getting to the goal won't be easy.
That guy enters the fray.
Arizon's device has gone haywire.
The competition is heating up. Oh. And here's Kaveh bringing up the rear.
It's Kaveh's toolbox! Throwing the diadem to its owner!
Yes, that's right. Put the diadem in place, and you shall gain all you desire.
Who are you? I need you to get out of my head!
I am confident that you will not disappoint me. happened to me. Something's wrong.
At long last, someone to inherit my estate, and with it, my research. Come, Kaveh. Come to me, my child.
How do you know my name? Who are you?
I am Sachin. Well, to be precise, I am but a fragment of Sachin's mind. Fate is a curious thing. Seeing you reminds me of another I once met. But you are made of sterner stuff than he. More cognizant of the trials and tribulations of this world. It is you who are worthy to inherit all that I once owned. We meet for the first time, children. But what I mean to say now is of utmost importance. So please, pay attention and bear witness. You have all performed outstandingly in this Interdarshan Championship. The Academia has many rare talents among its ranks, and you are the creme of the creme. But if I were to choose a successor, I would choose you, Kaveh. Not only because you are victorious, but also due to our similarities in character.
Me? Similar to you?
Why, yes. Both of us have the misfortune to be idealists, and that is the source of our misery. 28 years ago, I came to the desert and lived there for 8 full years. What do you think I saw there? Alas, endless strife and slaughter, conflict over water sources, robbing of merchant caravans, exploitation of the people relentlessly, day after day. Beyond the wall of Samiel lay a completely different world from the one I knew. The things I witnessed there tormented me greatly. I wished desperately to find a way to save them.
So, did you find a way?
As a Vahumana scholar, I tried to use Vahumana knowledge to find the answer. I researched history and anthropology, performed countless experiments on human nature, and even sought out the scholars living deep in the desert who called themselves the Lost Darshan. But in the end, I found that the answer I sought simply did not exist. It was not possible to simply assign blame for these transgressions to any one party, for the sins are carved into humanity's very nature. Our nature begets conflict, and conflict begets destruction. This is the inexorable truth. The aim of my research was to draw lessons from history. But what I discovered was that history offers no such guidance. Things can only ever go from bad to worse. After this realization, I could no longer see the meaning in anything that I had ever learned. Consumed by an overwhelming sense of emptiness, I could no longer bear to face life. And so, I decided to bring my life to an end. But before I went through with it, a strange twist of fate led me to come into the possession of this diadem, which has the ability to preserve part of one's consciousness. Into it, I placed my experiences before requesting that the Academia manage my estate.
As I thought. The contract you signed with the Academia was in essence your will. But if you'd given up hope on this world, why did you feel the need to do this?
I mentioned that I had performed a great many experiments concerning human nature. You may regard this as the very last experiment of them all. The Academia has no shortage of genius talents, nurturing the brightest minds of every generation. And so, with a handsome reward to draw out the worthiest of individuals, my hope was that one day I would find one who could untangle the mystery of human nature once and for all, and help to move the world onto a better path.
I see. So you desired a successor who was not only a genius, but who also understood the suffering of ordinary people. Such a person would have a clearer understanding of humanity, society, and the world.
Huh?
But did you ever consider that wealth numbs the human heart to the pain in the world? Even an idealist may be incapable of following through on your wishes after inheriting your wealth.
You are highly intelligent, yet you are not the sort of person who would understand my line of thinking. To me, this is also part of the experiment. Part of my investigation into human nature. Whether my successor suffers as a consequence of my research, or succumbs to an indulgence in pleasure-seeking, my research will have progressed. I grieve the fundamental sickness of the world. I regret the unbearable weight of its history. And I lament the research that I failed to complete. And this, Kaveh, my dear child, is why you will be of great utility to me.
You're absolutely certain that you want to give me everything you owned? For me to do with as I please?
I have faith in what I see in you. Now wear the diadem, Kaveh, and complete the journey that I could not. Will the verdict I reached cause you suffering? Or will this newfound wealth numb your heart? I look forward to your answer. All of my research materials are being stored at
I've heard enough! My life's enough of a mess already. The last thing I need is more suffering. Keep your Mora. I don't need it. Didn't you say that you saw a lot of people in pain? Well, if that's the case, then your wealth can go to them. I guess that'll be the end of that.
Kaveh.
Are you all right? Any physical discomfort?
I'm fine. Thanks, Tainari. Don't worry about me.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Kaveh.
Kaveh may have broken the diadem, but he successfully completed the task prior to that. According to the rules, this makes him the victor of round 3. Points-wise, this also makes him the winner of the Inter-Darshan Championship. As the champion and Sachin's personally designated successor, Kaveh has obtained the rights to inherit the entirety of his estate. For the avoidance of doubt, can you confirm that it is your intention to donate all of Sachin's wealth?
Like I said, he thought that the world is a bad place. Well then, let's use what he left behind to change it for the better. Rejecting the world will achieve nothing. He and I, we're not the same.
All right. As the scribe, I will make a record of this incident on file. The sages will contact you in person for details on how exactly Sachin's estate is to be used.
That sounds fine. I don't know if his research findings were right, nor would I know how to finish his research for him. But what I do know is that by ending this here, no contestants will have to suffer. We won't be the last. There will be more championships to come, and countless future scholars will follow in our footsteps. Sachin's words can only cause pain, but not anymore. No one else has to hear them now. We're all scholars here. I know full well that shutting down his views like this is autocratic and arrogant. Fine by me. I'll bear that responsibility. It's the least I can do. And, well, it's the only thing I can do.
Well said. What you've expressed is a sense of justice and idealism that many aspire to, but few dare follow through with. I say this despite the fact that, in my view, it's quite ridiculous. You have long been aware of what your flaws are, but your pride alone prevents you from admitting it. Nevertheless, your perspective is well suited to appearing in a victory speech. Contestant Kaveh, on behalf of the organizing committee, it is my honor to congratulate you on your victory.
What? Please. I don't need your insincere praise. Anyway, this isn't the time or place for debates. Keep your commentary focused on the competition, not my views.
Congratulations, Kaveh. Also,
Looks like the ceremony will be held at the main venue. Let's head over and check it out.
Huh? Wait, you're that blonde traveler who's on a journey to all corners of Tevat, right?
Who's asking? Do you need something from us?
You bet I do. I was worried I wouldn't be able to find you. I have a letter for you, you see. It's from another Outlander. He was a crafty fellow, let me tell you. Took advantage of a loophole in our mailing system by opting for guaranteed delivery, then filling in the most obscure mailing address I've ever seen.
Well, we are always on the road, so yeah, it's pretty tough to get mail to us unless we happen to go to the post office on a whim. So, what address did that person give you anyway?
He just wrote, next to a small, white-haired talking fairy.
What? So the address is Paimon?
Yeah, exactly, right? And if I failed to deliver the letter, I'd have been bound by regulation to compensate him. Really, he got me good. I count myself very lucky that I ran into you here. Of course, here it is. All yours.
Come on! Paimon wants to have a look too! Kaya, huh? So he's here in Sumeru. Now that Paimon thinks about it, Crafty does describe him pretty well. From what he wrote in the letter, it looks like he didn't think there was much chance of it reaching us. Or maybe he's just being sneaky. Do you think he's making this sound like a miracle of fate so that we'd have to go meet up with him? Yeah, you're right. It's always nice to see old friends. The letter says that he hangs out at Jafar Tavern every afternoon. Perhaps we should drop in on him then, huh? Hayashimi at Jafar Tavern right now. Let's go see him.
I'll have something I haven't tried yet, boss.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid you've already tried every type of liquor we serve.
Oh? Well then, just the bill, please. That's just as well, I suppose. I do have other matters to attend to.
Kaya, you're really here! Paimon half thought you were playing some sort of prank on us.
Hey, Paimon, traveler. Looks like the gods smile upon me after all. And come now, I wouldn't joke about wanting to see my good friends.
Wait a second. You must be here on official business, right? What do you think you're doing spending every afternoon drinking at the tavern? You itching for a lecture from Jean?
Not at all. The acting Grand Master positively terrifies me. Why would I ever do anything that might displease her? The truth is, I'm in Sumeru to learn about the alcohol industry here. So despite how it might look, I'm actually at Jafar Tavern for strictly business purposes. Sumeru spices are famous the world over, and it's long been rumored that this fine establishment was where a certain very popular spiced cocktail was invented. That's why the knights sent me, their foremost expert in alcoholic beverages, to come and see if it is as good as the rumors say.
And how did that go?
So far, so good. I'm already in talks with some spice merchants in Port Ormos about some potential collaboration.
Yeah, that does sound like a great business opportunity. Guess Don Winery and Master D-Luke are gonna make a tidy sum from this one too, huh?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Whether this lucrative opportunity gets passed along to Don Winery or not depends on how nice I'm feeling.
Hey, using your job to settle personal grievances isn't very knightly, Captain!
Oh? What makes you say that? Very sharp of you. I wouldn't say I'm familiar, though. I just came here on the sly once, when I was very young.
And? Do continue.
Do I have to? When I said we could talk about the old times, digging up my past wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Well, all right, since you're so interested. Like I said, I was very young then. Don Winery had only just taken me in. I overheard my adoptive father talk about sending a team of merchants to Sumeru during a business meeting. I'm sure you'll agree that everyone's curious about their roots on some level. And my roots? They're in Conria, which is said to have been located deep underground, somewhere near Sumeru. And so I stowed myself away amidst the cargo, and silently joined the merchant delegation on their trip to Sumeru. But it wasn't long before the merchant delegation received news that I'd gone missing. Their leader promptly found me, and before I knew it, my adoptive father was dragging me back home by the ear. It was a short-lived adventure. Sorry I don't have a more thrilling story for you. Honestly, not much. The only reason I knew that Conria was near Sumeru is because I happened to read that in a book when I was young. My life had less and less to do with Conria as I grew up, and so I started caring less as well. I used to believe that I had inherited some sort of duty from my father. But then I began to wonder. Maybe my father left me in the peaceful land of Mondstadt for no other reason than simply to give me a happier life. A happy life sounds good to me, of course, even if it means being cut off from certain things. This is obviously all speculation. Simply put, I'm afraid that I'm not particularly in the know on this topic. These days, my surname, Alberich, is probably the only link to Conria that I have left.
One death afternoon, please, boss.
Tell me, what do you know about the significance of that name, Alberich?
Dainsleif?
Ah, you've decided to join us. I was wondering how long you planned on listening in. I believe I've seen you before in Mondstadt. Dainsleif, if I'm not mistaken.
So you remember me. Then we are already acquainted, Kaya Alberich, descendant of the Abyss Order's founder.
Huh?
What?
I take it that you weren't aware of this until now, Kaya. Or you wouldn't have been so forthcoming with your surname.
Oh my. That's quite a lot of baggage for a surname, isn't it? Though I must say, it does confirm an old suspicion of mine. I suppose that was why my father left me in Mondstadt after all.
I'm surprised that you take me at my word without the faintest hint of skepticism.
Well, perhaps what you told me just happens to answer some questions I carry in my memories. And in any case, I recognize your eyes. You're a pure-blood Conrian, aren't you?
Very clever. Forgive me for being direct, but I sincerely hope this new knowledge doesn't change anything. If you've already let go of your ties to the past, then keep it that way.
Kaya, you're not involved with the Abyss Order in any way, are you?
Hey, hold on now. This conversation has taken a rather sudden turn for the deadly serious. And I'm afraid that as someone from Mondstadt, I'm not accustomed to this sort of atmosphere. So what if I know my ancestry? Do I strike you as the type who would be bound by that kind of thing? Relax. I'll be just as delighted to hunt down the Abyss Order tomorrow as I have always been. Either way, looks like we're out of time. I've got a spice merchant to meet in a minute, so I'll leave the three of you to carry on the conversation without me.
Well, alright then. You go do your thing, Kaya.
See you around. And Dainsleif, no need to listen in from the sidelines next time we meet. Let me buy you a drink.
You don't really trust him, do you, Dane? You're both from Conria, but you get on like oil and water.
The fact is, I still do not know him well. It would be meaningless for me to jump to conclusions. But can a person truly be unaffected by their ancestry? This remains to be seen. Well, I suspect that they call your brother their prince, precisely because there is a succession of sorts.
Oh, so if he was the founder, he'd be the king, right?
I mean to investigate the Loom of Fate. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, the Abyss Order's evil plan! We learned about that back in Mondstadt.
Not new. Not exactly. My memories suffer from erosion. But while I was recovering my health recently, I suddenly remembered something. Your brother. He mentioned the Loom of Fate back when we traveled together. Apparently so. I was also quite surprised when these memories tallied up. I recall that we were traveling to Sumeru when the matter was brought up.
So, you're going to the place that he mentioned back then?
Correct. At that time, they must have been introduced in one way or another to this concept. If I recall correctly, we were somewhere in NVIDIA Forest then.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Maybe we'll discover some secret that's lain hidden for hundreds of years!
No. Now is not the time. No, it's just, I'm still waiting for my drink.
Seriously? I see everything! Here! Yeah!
Wait. This place, it's familiar.
What about it? It looks pretty normal to Paimon. Was it like this hundreds of years ago, too?
Yes. The forest has barely changed from how I remember it. Let's search the area and see what we can find.
Is this a field? It must belong to whoever owns that house over there. But it looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. You could be forgiven for thinking nothing was ever grown here. Or, wait, maybe nothing ever was grown here. It's an extinguished bonfire. Forest rangers, perhaps? Looks like it's been ages since it was last lit. And clearly they put it out carefully to prevent a forest fire, too. That's responsible.
Nothing else stands out in this area. All that's left is that building. Come on.
Wait, we're just gonna go barging in? What if someone's home?
Unlikely. There are no signs of life in this area. We should be able to enter without incident.
If you say so. Well, you lead the way then, Dane. So there really isn't anyone home. Ugh, this place is so dusty. Paimon bets no one's lived here in years. This bed looks pretty ordinary. Huh, there's nothing underneath it either. What sort of person would want to live here? It's so dark and damp. Can't be all that comfortable. There's a box over here. Why don't we open it? And by we, Paimon means you. Paimon's just scared that whatever's inside might bite her fingertips off. Huh? This is a mirror. It's broken, too. Was this a makeup box? That's kinda disappointing. Paimon was hoping we'd uncover some super big secret, especially after Dane talked this place up. Hey, look! It's a bowl! Guess whoever used to live here liked to cook, huh?
Can't you smell it? There's a heavy scent of medicinal herbs in here.
Oh, so it's a medicine bowl? Seems you're right. You've got a good nose on you, Dane. Doesn't look like there's anything else worth our attention here. You sure we're in the right place, Dane?
My memories are quite foggy, but my subconscious and instincts both assert that something once happened here. But we'll exhaust ourselves if we search aimlessly. I hear noises outside. Let's go and check.
Noises?
It's not much. Just some minor adversaries.
Monsters? Wow, Dane's ears are sharp, just like his nose. Surprisingly good taste for a 500-year-old. Although for someone who's as full of surprises as Dane, it's hardly a big deal. Anyway, let's beat up these monsters! With all my strength. Yeah!
I doubt that the appearance of those monsters was wholly random. There must be something nearby that attracted them. A ley line anomaly, perhaps. But it seems to be more than that. Okay. I'll go slightly further out to investigate any issues with the nearby ley lines. I might be a while. You should wait for me here.
What? You're going alone? You better not be trying to keep some secret from us.
Your suspicions are as banal as they are unwarranted. I merely think that this house should remain the focus of our investigation, and as such, someone ought to stay here and keep an eye on it. Not to mention that if even forest rangers are capable of investigating ley lines, I will be more than able to handle it alone.
Fair enough. Guess we'll just camp out here then. Good thing there's a fireplace over there. Let's make ourselves something to eat. All this running around has made Paimon real hungry. Is as good as ever. Even if there was no other reason, the food alone would be enough for Paimon to stick with you. Changing the subject, Dane's taking forever. He said that there might be an issue with the nearby ley lines. How bad do you think it could be? We came together, but now it's back to just being the two of us again. You know, now that Paimon mentions it, we really have spent lots and lots of time together, haven't we? So... Don't take this the wrong way or anything, but... Do you ever get tired of Paimon being around? Oh, you stop it! Now you're embarrassing Paimon. So, next question. Don't know if it's okay to ask this, but... Paimon's curious. What was it like traveling with your brother? The stars? Wow. Yeah. Paimon understands. Being separated without even knowing the reason why, it's just terrible. But we'll find the truth together. Sure as Paimon's your guide. Just you wait, Heavenly Principles! And you too, Teyvat! You know what? We've talked too long about this sad stuff. Let's talk about something happy instead, 'cause if you're sad, Paimon will be too. All right. It's getting dark, so why don't you rest? Paimon will take first watch. Don't worry, no monster's gonna come and eat you up. Oh, come on! Don't say that! Paimon just wants to look after you for once. Nighty-night. Go on, shoo! Off to sleep!
Hey, time to wake up. The sun has risen. What a deep sleeper. You do know that we need to... Tear stains. You dreamed of your sibling last night, didn't you? All right. Rest here a bit longer then. I'll head into the forest to investigate.
do you think you're doing? This place is not whatever you think it is. Nor should you be poking your nose into my business. Begone! Your travel companion. You mean the one that was keeping watch by your side last night? Your companion departed for the forest early this morning. That much I saw with my own eyes. What business is that of yours, hmm? All you need to know is that I claimed this place first, and what I do here is none of your concern. Do I make myself quite clear? Leave! Well, what are you waiting for? If you must, suit yourself. I've been observing you, and you don't look like a forest ranger, nor someone from the academia. Still, I'm warning you, no funny business. Promise me that, and you can do as you please. Okay, fine, whatever. Just move aside. I'm heading in. You... Oh, go on then. Have it your way. I knew I wasn't going to be able to hide this anyway. Just come in. But no overreacting to anything you see in here, okay? You understand me? Come on then. Mind your own business. And don't worry, he isn't aggressive. How could he be? He was too young for anything like that. So don't you lay a finger on him. Just find yourself a corner to rest if you're tired or cold. Huh? You know Conria? Who are you? Exactly. And how do you know I'm from Conria? Do you worship a god, traveler? Sounds like you've had an eventful life. All right, well, my name is Ida, and you are correct. I was once Conrian. I apologize for my earlier hostility, but you must understand, as far as I'm concerned, humans who do not worship the Seven are nigh extinct, and all who place faith in the gods are my enemies. That may be. But the fact is that chances to talk to people like yourself have been few and far between since the cataclysm. This wretched curse of immortality. Who knows how long I must continue to suffer like this? The curse. It was a little gift given to the people of Conria by those vile gods. We lost our home, our loved ones, everything. The agony of the cataclysm itself was already too much to bear, but then came the curse, robbing us any chance of release. All we can do is watch helplessly as our souls erode and our bodies decay. Because, although Conria began with a single bloodline, it was a home to others too. Any who forsook their gods and came to Conria were welcomed as our fellow citizens. When the cataclysm came,
We pure-blood Conrians were declared the greater sinners. Upon us the gods placed the curse of immortality. But those whose ancestry belonged to the domains of other gods were punished with the curse of the wilderness as they fled, turning them into monsters. He is Caribert, my illegitimate son. How times have changed. I can say that out loud with no consequence now, but it was once a matter of unspeakable shame. I was a noble of Conria. I resented the life that my family had arranged for me. Then, one day, I met a beautiful woman amongst the people. Her roots were in Mondstadt, but that mattered not to me. It was love at first sight. Caribert faced great hardship from the very moment of his birth. All due to my selfish desires, and I was never able to be there by his side for any of it. After all that, he turned into a hilly troll right before my very eyes. I always owed him much, and now at least I can finally be close to him. She was. We were separated. I do not wish to dwell on it. It could be worse. I suffer the pain of loss because I once had everything I could wish for, and now that I have lost almost everything, the little that remains I see with new clarity. If nothing else, at least I still have Caribert. Yes, that reminds me. I only returned here to check on Caribert, but I do have other things I wish to do. You may come with me, if you're so inclined.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Ooh.